Hello folks, welcome to Legacy IAS. In today's video, we'll be talking about Cheras or Chera Dynasty. Alright, let's enter into the video. See, before we start, who are these Cheras? We have three stages, right? Paleolithic, right? Mesolithic, then is your Neolithic. Right? I'm sure you know Paleolithic means paleo, old, lithic, stone. Old Stone Age, Meso, Middle Stone Age, Neo, New Stone Age. Right? Right after this, right after your Neolithic, Chalcolithic comes in, and discovery of iron, Mahajanapadas, all those things. This is more of concentrated towards the northwestern part of India or northern part of India. Right? Post your Neolithic, right, in the southern regions, a grouping begins to form, or a culture, okay, in the southern portion of Indian subcontinent, or like right now let's just focus on the Indian portion, okay. So in the southern portion of India, okay, there was a similar culture or assimilation of cultures, right. One such thing was your megalith, right. Megalithic culture is nothing but they laid out stones in concentric circles, something indicating a burial site. Yeah. So this kind of cultures was more assimilated and accumulated in the southern region. So there, right, they started forming zones of power, zones of influence, and thus began the entry of kingdoms. One of the kingdoms in the early histories are your, right, post this period, megalithic culture period, okay, one of the early kingdoms of, okay, southern Indian, right, region was your Cheras. Okay. Now, where were they mostly focused on, or where was their zone of influence? Most of Kerala and Kongu Nadu region of Tamil Nadu. Alright, look at this. This is their, okay, this is their zone of influence. Okay. So from here onwards, we will discuss in this particular video about the political part of Cheras. Right, which were the kings who introduced, okay, or organized this zone of influence into a kingdom, and who were the most important rulers, the last rulers, what important should we know in the political perspective. Alright, let's enter in. Look at it. This was their flag or emblem of your Chera Empire or Chera Kingdom or Chera Dynasty. See, I use three words, right? Empire, Kingdom, Dynasty, right? Empire on its own, see, Cherans cannot be called, or Cheras cannot be called a full-fledged empire. If I am calling empire, it is only mostly because of their culture, assimilation, and the region domination was more of to them, and its link with trade. Oh, we'll see further on how the link with trade and all in upcoming videos, right? So because of that aspect, not because of geographical aspect, but because of culture, because of trade, because of its ties with the outside world, we can call it an empire, but not because of geographical zones. Alright, kingdom, yes, dynasty, yes. This is mostly concerned with the geographical perspective. Right? Let's move ahead. So what is a flag or emblem? Nothing but a bow and arrow. Right? Bow and arrow. Okay? Who are the contemporaries of Cheras? Those being your Cholas and Pandyas. These were the three trifecta. Right? If you see the history of Chola or Pandya or Chera, one point or the other, right? Let's take, now we're discussing Chera. Right? At one point of time, any king we're discussing, that particular king, okay, be it in any historical resources, okay, or any sorts of sources, the king would have claimed that he won over Cholas, he won over Pandyas, right? Now again, when we discuss about Cholas, right, there will be one particular king, right, who they would claim through sources that he won over Cheras, he won over Pandyas, right? Now when we discuss about Pandyas, right, there will be sources where one of the king will be like, he won over Cholas, he won over Cheras. See, the reason all three we see like this in the sources is just that they were contemporaries who were in constant conflict. They were also trying to form alliances, they were trying to insert right their influence over each other, over the zones. See, why were they trying to insert their influence over the zones? One main reason is the region they were in, okay, was a rich rice cultivation region, right? Any region, right, which is agrarian, which gives them more benefit, obviously all three of them would want to contain that, or all three of them would want to have that under their influence. Now when I said rice regions or agrarian regions, right, this indicates that, okay, the majority form of economy or trade happened, economy was through trade and agrarian, okay, all three of them, the trifecta ka major, right. One point of conflict in the political aspect was, one region of conflict for the trifecta was for trade and agrarian lands, right. Look at this, Chera, Pandya, Chola. Alright? Next. See, one thing is, where do we see the source of Cheras? One of the major source, right? See, we all need source as to whether it was mentioned there, it was mentioned here, because if they existed at same period or before or after, somewhere the existence of these people should be there in multiple sources. Then only the credibility of establishing in history is possible, right? Just because one source it is told that this particular kingdom was there, so and so, he defeated so and so. See, sources, for example, one particular source you cannot rely. Why? Because history or historical sources are sometimes known to embellish things. Okay, they claim huge things. For example, one of the embellishment, or it may be true, it may not be true. It is said that there was a king who wore 7 crowns as a garland. Okay. Now, if you look at reality, you would think maybe it is not reality, maybe it is metaphorical, or maybe it was reality. We don't know. It could be a source of embellishment. It could also not be a source of embellishment. Other source of history, there is one source which says, oh, there was a king who defeated 1,000 people at one stretch. Whenever he raises his sword, he lays it down only after killing 100 souls. Now, again, this seems like an obvious source of embellishment or hyping up things more than what it is. So, just one source of history we will not refer, right? To set a particular period telling us Cheras existed, these people were there, so and so happened. We see multiple sources. One such source is your Sangam literature. See, as of now, know that Sangam literature or Sangam is nothing but a collection of poets or people coming together and producing mostly a secular set of work. Right? We'll discuss more about Sangam culture, Sangam literature and all further on in the videos. Right? The other sources, okay? See, we said Cheras. The region was somewhere mostly towards Kerala, right? Which is mostly towards port side, right? Be it in contemporary world 2022 or at their point of time, right? Now, it was always majority port side, indicating it was trade oriented, right? Trade dependency was very large. Now, when we say trade, right, at a point of time, it was with the Roman majority trade, or Yavana dealers, or nothing but pepper dealers, right? Indicating spice trade. Alright, indicating spice trade. The Roman coins, there is contact between the Romans and Indians. How? Through your Kerala port. See, Kerala has, okay, your Europeans, when they discovered New Sea route, which was the first place did you think they come into? Calicut, Kerala. Yes, Kerala has always been the gateway connecting India to the outside country with respect to trade. Alright, now spice trade also took place, right? So, why are we discussing about trade? First thing is, yes, the trade took place, all those things. The source for Cheras are mentioned even by your Roman historians, Egyptian historians, right? Even in their works, we can see the mention of Cheras. And also, another thing we see the source for Cheras is your Ashokan edict, right? Next, let's look at the overview. Three early kingdoms, right? Rice growing areas of Tamilagam. Okay, the region. Okay, see, look at the region here we spoke about, right? Almost this portion was called as Tamilagam, right? Now, what was the timeline that your Cheras existed? Somewhere, see, the timeline is from BCE of Sangam to CE of Sangam, right? Sometimes the claim is 3rd BCE to 3rd CE. Sometimes the claim is 1st CE, first BCE to your 1st CE, right? Next, look at this. Source we just discussed, alright? Location also we discussed, majority of Kerala and your Congo land of Tamil Nadu. Your trade was mainly with your Roman Empire, right? Mostly was your pepper, silk, all those things were happening. But one such thing we have heard about is your Yavana dealers, Yavanas, Yavanikas, all that is dealing with term pepper or spices, alright? Vanji was the capital of your Cheras, right? The ports in the west coast that were under their control was this, right? The Emblem, this also we have discussed, alright? Let's move ahead. Look at this. This is the Silk Route. But now here, look at the trade. All throughout the world, it spreads through this region. Nothing but your Kerala region, right? This is your Cheras. Okay, look at the highlighted zone. This is how the trade used to take place. Alright. Okay. Let's enter into the political aspects. The first king to begin the empire is this. Alright. The next is your king is Nedunjaral Adan. Okay. See, now when we spoke, look at this. He is praised for having subdued 7 crowned kings to achieve the title Adi Raja. Okay. The Cheran kings were also known as Kerala Putras. Okay. Now, one important king, okay, or one important strength or the kingdom peak during this particular king, if you have to tell that for Cheras, that is your Cheran king Sengotavan. The name of Cheras to the peak, and also he is mentioned in the Sangam literature as well as post Sangam literature of Silapadigaram, right? This is a story of, right, Kannagi, Kovalan, Madhavi, right? Again, further we will discuss on about Sangam literature, Silapadigaram, Kannagi, Kovalan, Madhavi and all. But as of now, know that Sengotavan is mentioned in Sangam literature, and also he, right? It is said that Sengotavan travelled all the way towards the northern part of India so that he could acquire a stone to sculpt the image of Kannagi, okay, who was seen as a goddess of chastity. Okay. So for this reason, Sengotavan we have to discuss with respect to Silapadigaram. Alright. Look at this. He is called as or identified as this, most commonly called as Sengotavan. Sengotavan is also called as this, right? He is the greatest king, or also known as Red King or Good Chera. Okay. Then he is mentioned in the post-Sangam text, Silapadigaram, we just discussed, right? In which he describes about his military conquest against Vellore in the land of Nannan and capture of Kodakur fortress in Congo country, right? He also successfully backed one of the claims in Chola succession. Again, anything if you discuss with respect to Chera, Chola, Pandya, you can see conflicts with the 3 kings with the other 3 kings, right? Sometimes it's a success, sometimes it's a failure, but you will always see the mention of it, right? And he was claimed to the entry of north. It was said that when we spoke about Kannagika story, he was looking in search of that stone, right? When he acquired the stone, he went across Ganga, he took a bath in Ganga and then came back, right? All the stories of Sengotavan. Next, this is one of your last kings of your Chera empire or your Chera kingdom, right? Said to have won the wars against Cholas and Pandyas. Okay, he again ruled during the period of Sangamija. As I mentioned, this is a pretty common thing when we discuss about Chera, Chola, Pandya. Alright, next is the Kannagi we were talking about, right? Now we've discussed about the trifecta being your Chera, Chola, Pandya, right? They were also called as Mukkulathur, right? Which means three Kula, people belonging to three different clans, alright? They were also called as Moventer of ancient Tamilagams, right? Nothing but three clans, alright? Look at this. Now, look at this particular word, Tevar or Devar. Let's first deal with this. Devar means divine, right? At that point of time, king was seen as a divine incarnation, okay? Now, Tevar, do not get it confused with a caste, okay? It's a major caste in Tamil Nadu. This is not anything dealing with that. Here, it just meant something with respect to Devar or Tevar, something indicating that of a higher order, right? This Mukkulathur, nothing but your Chola, Chera, Pandya. All three of them form the three clans, right? They were called as Kallar, Marvar, Agamudiyar. Your Kallars were descendants of Cholas, Marvars were descendants of Pandyas, Agamudiyars are descendants of Cheras. So your Chola, Pandya, Cheras. Okay? Now, let's just sum up, okay, what we have learnt about Cheras in the political aspect. Look at this. Cheras ruled the parts of Kerala and Tamil Nadu, okay. Their kingdom included portions of Cochin and parts of Malabar, Travancore. Alright, this much clear. Now look at this. In present day, it forms portions of Kerala, Salem, Dharmapuri. These two forms a region of Tamil Nadu, right? Majority region of Kerala, Salem and Dharmapuri are of Tamil Nadu, okay? Were parts of Chera Dynasty or Chera Kingdom, right? The first capital city was, okay, the later rulers moved the capital to this, right? Look at this. Cheras constantly were in war with Pandyas and Cholas, as we have discussed, right? These kingdoms formed, okay, during the prominent ruling of dynasties of Iron Age, like that we discussed, right? After Neolithic, right? Megalithic culture started coming in. At that point of time in the north, we see somewhere the beginning of iron, right? Magadhans, right? During that phase. With the wedding of Chera king, basically nothing but indicating, even with the fight, right? They used to form alliances so that they could control the zone or influence, okay? Now, most of the population of Chera dynasty was agrarian, okay? Along with agrarian, what else did we say was the major source of economy? Trade, okay? Trade and commerce, okay? Evidence of flourishing trade between Roman and Greek Cheras were locally grown spices, nothing but pepper. We discussed that. Look at this, the list of Cheran kings, right? The first one, he was first recorded Chera ruler, right? According to Sangam literature. Again, as we spoke, source. This is the next king. He took the title of Adi Raja, right? Senguttavan, we just discussed, the red king or the good king, right? Look at this. Here's some king of Chera dynasty. Okay. These are your kings of Cheran dynasty. Now, if you like our content, do subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, share it along with your friends. Alright. Thank you very much.